Hi everyone. Today we want to learn how can flood mapping in Google Earth Engine with Sentinel 2 multispectral satellite. And this code is designed to detect the flood water in any case study areas. We selected the Bangladesh for study areas using the Sentinel 2 surface reflectiveness or S2 SR imagery, and the Normalized Difference Water Index or NDWI, NDWI is a common index for detecting water body in satellite image. And as it highlights the water features well, distinguishing them from vegetation and other land cover type, the idea is to compare the two difference period, pre-flood, before the flood event, and flood during the flood event, and identify areas that show significant changes, which are likely to be flooded. And here is the breakdown for approach and step implementation in the code. In the first step, flood detection based on NDWI. NDWI is calculated for the both pre-flood and flood periods. During the floods, the water bodies typically have a higher NDWI value compared to the normal or pre-flood condition. And by comparing the NDWI values of the pre-flood and flood periods, areas that show a significant increase in the water that were not water the pre-flood period but became a water in the flood period can be identified. And in the second step, flood masking, a mask is created where water appears in the flood period but not in the pre-flood period. This mask help in the isolating the flood areas. And in the third steps, composite, the code creates two separate composite, one for the pre-flood period and one for the flood period. And these composites represent the median pixel values over the respective period. And in the fourth steps, the visualization part, the NDWI values for both periods are visualized and using to color palettes to identify the difference between the water, land, and other features. And we use the true color composite to showing the natural color image or also visualize for both periods to give a visual understanding of a landscape before and after the flood. So in a code, first of all, yeah, we define the area of interest. We define the Bangladesh. I write the variable Bangladesh like this. The AOI is defined as a Bangladesh using two the FAO Global Administrative Unit layers dataset, and this dataset provides administrative boundaries for countries around the world. And a feature collection is created for Bangladesh by filtering the GAUL dataset for country with name Bangladesh, and the map is centered on the Bangladesh using the map.center object for better visualization. In the second steps, we define the range for the pre-flood and flood period. The flood season typically occurs during the monsoon period in Bangladesh, but define the data range for two periods, pre-flood period from May 1 to June 15, 2023, and flood period from June 16 to August 31, 2023. And after we still need to load to Sentinel to surface reflectiveness like this. And Sentinel-2 satellite mission provides high-resolution multispectral imagery, and the S2SR harmonized dataset is used, which contains surface reflectance values for the various band, making it useful for vegetation, water, and other land cover analysis. And the Sentinel-2 imagery collection is filtered by the area of interest Bangladesh, and the cloud cover filter is applied to ensure that only image with less than 50% cloud cover are included in the analysis. For calculate the NDWI, we write this code. The NDWI is usually widely used in index to detect water bodies using a satellite imagery. Is calculate the NDWI equals greens subtract near infrared divided into greens plus the near infrared. And the green corresponds to the bond 3 in the Sentinel-2, and near infrared corresponds to bond 8 in the Sentinel-2. And to get NDWI function, calculate the NDWI for each image in the Sentinel-2 collection by using the green P3 and near infrared P8 bonds. And in step 5, we create a composite image like this for both the pre-flood and flood period. The median of the image with the respective data range is calculated to create a composite image that represents the central tendency of each pixel over the period. And the filter data method selects the image from the Sentinel-2 collection that fall with the specific data range, and the median method is applied to this image to create a composite for each period where each pixel represents the median value across the image with the period. And in step 6, we calculate the NDWI for both periods. And after the composites are created, NDWI is calculated for both pre-flood and flood period. And NDWI is computed for the pre-flood and after flood composite using the previously defined get NDWI. And in the third step, we want to flooded areas are detected by comparing the NDWI values of two periods, and areas with high NDWI in the flood periods and low NDWI in the pre-flood period are identified as a flood. And the flood masks identify areas where the NDWI in the flood period is greater than 0.2, indicating the water, and the NDWI in the pre-flood period is less than 0.1, indicating the no water. And the mask isolate the areas that have become flooded between the pre-flood and flood period. And in step 8, we need to add the map layer for both periods. We add the map of NDW image pre and after period and displaying with the color palette that highlight the water in the blue. And the flood mask is displayed in red, indicating the area that were detected as a flood. And I want to add the two color composite here for compression, and this created using by B4, B3, and B2 composite, and displayed the map of a give a realistic view of the landscape before and after the flood. And if we run this code, you can see we have a file layer here, pre-flood NDWI, and we can investigate. This is NDWI for pre-flood, and this is the after flood. You can see we have more water areas and detected the flood water here. You can see with the compare of NDWI, and yeah, we have the pre-flood two color images and flood two color images. You can see we have some flood here. If we zoom, so you can change the dates and case studies areas and monitoring any flood event with the Sentinel-2 satellite. Thank you for your watching. Please like and subscribe our channel and video.